My name is Adam Parr, and I'm the host of the Pod City Podcast. This podcast focuses on motivation, mindset, positivity, mental health, and many other areas. In this podcast, I've connected with people from all different walks of life. You can connect with me on social media in the link below. And if you like this podcast, please like, share, and comment and subscribe because it really helps the channel and the podcast to grow. Now, without further ado, I hope you enjoy the video.
Tuning in, trying to find out how to win. Go along and tell a friend. Marathon, you know the game. Keep on running, never end. Getting better, make amend. Adam got it, Adam got it, Adam got it, Adam got it. Passivity, 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 passivity. Tune in.
David, it's great to have you on the podcast. How are you doing today? You all right?
I'm amazing, man. Thank you for having me, Adam. What's going on?
No, you're welcome. It's great to have you on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I just thought I'd say a massive thank you for being on the podcast, and I really appreciate it. And I was looking at your background and what you're doing, and you've got lots of experience under your belt with what you've done and what you're doing. I'll just note some out. So, like, the co-founder of Sports One Marketing, you've got the Entrepreneurship Playbook podcast, you're an author, top 100 business coach, global public speaker. How did you did you think this was going to happen? Like, how did you fall into all this?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's just focusing in on the capabilities that I have. So when I was young, I was really focused in on was making a lot of money. And so I wanted to develop skills, knowledge, and have the desire to make a lot of money so I could buy my mom a house and a car because I grew up poor. And what happened was developing that system of finding my skills, developing knowledge of what and who, and increasing my desire. I always kept my options open because my goal was to make a lot of money to what paid the most. So after law school, I got 2 job offers, one to be a litigator and make a lot of money in oil and gas, the other to sell legal research on the internet in 1992. Because the internet job paid more, I took that and I ended up being a millionaire 9 months out of law school. That company sold for $3.4 billion. I went to the Silicon Valley to make even more money and learn how to raise money. I worked in the middleware space, transcoding the internet onto cell phones, WAP phones, and then became CEO of the world's first smartphone, the first Windows device, a Windows CE device called the PCE phone, and multimillionaire by the time I was 30. Still keeping my options open. I met a guy named Lee Steinberg, who ran the most notable sports agency in the world, Lee Steinberg Sports and Entertainment. They had made the movie Jerry Maguire about Lee, and he offered me, because of my skills, my knowledge, and my desire, he offered me the chief operating officer position. Because of my skills, knowledge, and desire, I became the CEO of that company 6 months into it. And because of my skills, knowledge, and desire, I met a guy named Warren Moon, the Hall of Fame quarterback. And 11 years ago, we founded Sports One Marketing together. And last 3.5 years, almost 4 years, come the Super Bowl, I started building my own brand. I started realizing that the $2 billion in management that I had built as a brand, and the companies that I had built as a brand, and the charities that I had built as a brand, now with the reach that an individual brand could have because of social media, the amplification and the perpetuation of content, that I should focus on building my own brand. So that's where the books came in. I have 4 books that I've written, 3 best-selling, international bestsellers. I have the top podcast called The Playbook. I have 2 TV shows, 1 elevator pitch, and then 2, I have a new TV show coming out on Bloomberg and Amazon called 2 Minute Drill. I speak around the world, executive coach, but all of that stems from what I tell everyone to do, no matter what age you are. Don't look outside of yourself, look in, develop skills that you want to develop, knowledge of who and what, not just what and not just who and what, and be fired up about what you do. The same percentage of your life sucks, just the same as mine. And it always will. It's what we do with the suck. Can you find the light, the love, and the lessons in the suck? Can you be inspired by the suck to continue to grow, learn, and truly help other people?
No, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing what you're doing. Like, I find it really inspiring, and I like what you talk about as well. You know, humility, you know, gratitude, empathy, and you know, accountability, and you know, those things I think, you know, are really important as well, like in life. And I saw one of your clips, and you talked about, you know, humility, and you know that it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah. So I think all those combined, the biggest thing is the practice side of it. These things that you list out, everybody pretty much knows since they've been 3 years old that you should say thank you, that you should be forgiving, that you should be accountable, that you should be inspired, that you should be kind, that you should be humble. But it's the practice of it. And what I try to instill in people is that you need to practice what you want. You need to pay attention to, give intention to the coincidences in your life. And if you can do that, you'll realize the easiest way to get to where you want to go is to ask someone that's already there, right? If you want to get somewhere, ask them for directions. People are afraid not to give. Most people have no problem giving of themselves, being kind, being of service and of value to others. Most people have a huge problem receiving. They feel bad about themselves. They feel guilty, resentful, separate, inferior when they receive. I like to tell people, don't give to receive. Receive as much as you can so you can give. You can't give what you don't have. So receive by asking for help.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely key. And like I've met people who, you know, they find it hard to receive things, and I'm like, I always say, you need to be able to kind of receive things, like to be able to give. And if you know, if you're not open to receiving things, things won't come your way in, like, you know, in the universe.
You nailed it. That's the biggest, I think, detriment that people create, interference between what they want and what's already there, and other people that can be there to help you.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I like what you say as well. Like the value 120 rule. You know, giving 100 and asking for 20.
Yeah. So for me, not only mathematically do people have problems quantifying.
Yeah. Nice.
They have problems quantifying value, because ultimately, no matter what I'm selling or giving or sharing, if I told you, hey, you know, Adam, I'll give you $100, give me 20 back, you would have no problems. It would make sense. But if I didn't have the right energy connected to it, if I asked you, hey, let me give you 100, you give me 20, but I didn't have the right energy to it, you would be like, where's the catch? I think he's going to scam me, right? Why is that? Same two people, one you trust and one is sketchy, has different energy. So for me, the 120 world is an energetic practice that I'm thinking about every day in the morning, not only asking God for 10 people that I can help, excuse me, but more importantly, more importantly, I want to carry the energy as if I'm dreaming in the morning, giving $100 bills out to everybody I meet and asking for 20 back, what that truly feels like. So the sincerity and the energy is aligned with what I'm offering. So many people quantitatively, they've done the work, but there's something about their energy, their frequency that creates skepticism. A lot of times it's the subtleties of credibility where they've oversold, back-end sold, lied, manipulated, and cheated. And then that creates a true energy of finding more that they're lying about, and it ruins the whole deal.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think that's something I've definitely noticed, you know, on LinkedIn, networking sometimes. I'll have people who connect to me, and they'll want to tell me something straight away before they've even touched base or asked about, you know, had gained that rapport. And I think, like, you know, that's kind of, you know, trust is a big thing, isn't it? And like, you know, rapport and like, you know, having that understanding of somebody and that empathy.
You talk about that. That's so important, because most people ignore credibility and they think that they, you know, just should dump features and benefits on people. People buy on emotion for logical reason. The number one emotion people buy on is trust. Trust is only given by credibility, by telling the truth, by illuminating the weaknesses, by illuminating your past, by sharing your experience, finding out what somebody likes and doesn't like. Once you can find out what someone likes and doesn't like, you can ask them, would it be helpful if blank? And then it would have much more value than just assuming somebody likes it. And, let's say I'm selling oysters and I don't know you like oysters. And I say, oh, I got the best oysters in the world. Meanwhile, you're allergic to oysters. I haven't asked the question. I've lost credibility. There's no emotional attachment. There's no sale. But I never ask. And the guy keeps telling me, no, I'm not interested, because he's too embarrassed to tell me that he's allergic. Meanwhile, I might waste 10, 20, 30 sales calls on someone that's not available to buy.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, it's definitely it. Do you as well, like I was just thinking, like, do you have any like growing up or in like now, any like role models at all? Or anyone
So
like
everybody
you,
should have, everybody should have 3 mentors, right? 3 role models, as you suggest. And I've had them for years. And the way that I choose them is I pick out people that sit in the situation that I want to be in. I find people that are where I want to be and I ask them for directions. So if I want to be the best chef, I'm going to go and find one of the best chefs in the world and ask them for help to teach me to be one of the best chefs. If I'm interested in getting and losing weight, I'm going to find the best trainer or nutritionist. Or if I want to do balance, I'll find someone that teaches balance. If I want to learn math, I'll find a great mathematician. But at all times in your life, you should have at least 3 mentors, people that sit in the situation that you want to be in according to your values of what you want in your life. Don't vote for what other people want for you. Vote for what you want in your life. And definitely don't vote for what you don't want in your life, because you'll end up with what you don't want. You need to take inventory of your values every day and vote for what you want and ask for help in getting it.
No, I really resonate with that. And I find like, I think it's so important to have, role models, like you said, and the right kind of people that you surround yourself with as well. I think that's something I've kind of like, learned about over time. Because sometimes people kind of tell you, oh, you can't do that thing, or you shouldn't do that thing. And I think if you're surrounded by certain people, it's you're probably hard to do those things you want to do.
Yeah, well, especially with people that love us, right? I always tell people, just because someone loves you doesn't mean they give you good advice. A lot of times people who love us, they want your safety. They want ordinary for you, not extraordinary, because they don't want you to have to experience the pain that it takes, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, financial pain that it takes to be extraordinary. So they're going to give you advice based on your security or stability, not on what you want. And because they love us, we give them credibility. But just because someone loves us doesn't mean they have our best interest in mind or they know what they're talking about. I asked my mom, should I be a real lawyer or sell, internet stuff? And she told me the internet's a fad. It'll never last. And I'm making the biggest mistake of my life. Well, nobody loves me more than my mom still today. Nobody. But she wanted me to have the secure job of being a lawyer, making money. She could brag to her friends that I was a real lawyer. All those things had nothing to do about me or the opportunity. It was all about her and what she wanted for me, not through her to me.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like, I think that's really important. And to kind of like listen to yourself, isn't it? Like, respect where your parents are coming from, but kind of like, do what, is right, in your heart.
Yeah, when you respect your parents, you promote yourself. So you don't have to resist what they're saying. All you have to do is appreciate what they're saying and still make up your own mind. So let people know, hey, I really appreciate your advice. I love you so much. And I'm so grateful that you care so much about me. I'm going to take that under consideration and then make your own decision. Like a handful of sand, let it fall through your fingers and then hold on to the grains that make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. I was thinking as well, what advice would you give to people who, are trying to figure out what they want to do in life, but kind of don't really know what to do, if that makes sense?
Yeah, well, first of all, take inventory of your values. If you take inventory of your values every day, your personal values, what you want to experience, your experiential values, what you want to give, what your productive values are, value, service, solutions that you want to give, and receiving what you want, right? If you take inventory of your values, then angle towards those values every day. Do something that is aligned with your values for the day. Don't be afraid of being a hypocrite and learning that, hey, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. That's fine. But continue to angle towards something better. Don't quit, and find and keep on evolving according to your skills, knowledge, and desire, how they're aligned or supplementary or synergistic to what you want.
Mm, mm. Yeah, no, definitely. Because I think, like, you know, I speak to a lot of people who don't know what they want to do, and they're kind of like, you know, stuck in that loop. And I think, like, you know, society, a lot of pressure on people to, you know, to figure out what they want to be or do. And I think, you know, I definitely agree with what you said. And I know we're kind of thinking for time soon, and obviously your time. But to kind of like a last kind of question, like, well, our topic. You did a video and you was talking about, you were saying like the importance of gratitude, and you've worked with lots of different people and, you know, scientists, and met loads of people. When you said like the bottom kind of line of everything is like gratitude is what it comes down to, and I think that's, you know, heavily important as well.
I think it's the most important thing. Like I started, right? Gratitude identifies pain as an indicator, not a stop sign. If you don't have gratitude, when pain arises in your life, you will fold, you will quit, you won't make it. If you have gratitude, instead of quitting, you'll find the light, the love, and the lessons. You'll see pain, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, financial pain is an indicator. It's a turn signal, just like a car. Instead of hitting the brakes when you have pain, you literally will hit the turn signal and say, oh, there's a lesson to learn. Let me find the new directions to get to somewhere better, in a better place, a better situation, and even faster. And so I see gratitude as the tool in which allows me to find the light, the love, and the lessons. Or in other words, find the directions from the pain in order to go to a better place or make my situation better.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely, no, definitely, I definitely agree. And it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure talking to you, David. I know you've got set time, but like where can people find you on social media? Like, where's the best handle for you? Like, you know.
Yeah, thank you. So I do trainings every Friday for free. They're featured on Spotify, on Entrepreneur Magazine. They're featured on every platform. It's called The Playbook. But my trainings are live at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern time every Friday. You can email me, david@dmeltzer.com, for free trainings, for free books, exercises, guides. Everything's free, don't worry. And then you can find me at David Meltzer or David Meltzer everywhere. My website's D, first initial Meltzer, D Meltzer. But David Meltzer, if you Google it, you'll find me. I'm pretty much on every platform and doing my best to empower over 1 billion people to be happy.
Yeah, no, it's amazing what you're doing, David. And I think you're doing it. I really love your content, and you know, I really see you, you know, as a role model and mentor for me as well. And you know, it really helps.
Appreciate it, Adam. Come join one of my groups sometime. I'd love to
Yeah,
see you. Okay.
yeah, yeah. No, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, buddy. Take care.
Take care. Take care.
Great
Thanks.
job. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care.